Hello there, welcome to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot, and I am doing something a little bit different today because I'm not in my usual location. I'm currently traveling on vacation, but I wanted to do my monthly reading, which I do around the Balsamic Moon phase, and I always take this time to invite questions from you all. If you want to submit a question, you can always add it to a comment for the monthly reminders. But yeah, this is what I try to do every month to tap into the collective energy. And the point of, or rather the best way to make use of the Balsamic Moon phase, which is the last few days before the new moon. So if you think about the zodiac signs in the 12 houses, it's sort of like the moon entering the 12th house, because it's the last transit before that new moon when the cycle starts again. So it has a lot of 12th house and Neptunian themes. This tends to be a time of the month when we feel like we have less energy than usual. We feel like we need rest. We're perhaps overwhelmed quite easily, and find that we need to retreat more than usual. It's a good time of the month to not have any social plans, to just reserve some time for yourself, for solitude, and also time to not have anything on your to-do list. Like, you may have a to-do list, but put it in a drawer, put it out of sight, put it out of mind, and take an evening or take a day if you can to really not have any agenda. Just relax, just release all the whole pressure. Release that pressure to be productive and to do something, because before the new moon, we need to see, it's like we need to intuit where we are with things. Before we can get right, we have to process things on a more subconscious level. So the Balsamic Moon phase, the waning crescent phase, is a great time to write in your journal. It's a good time to even read books or read any writings that tend to ground you spiritually, things that you find inspiring, because it puts you in the right heart space, the right head space, the right heart space. So with all that said, I'm going to start this reading. I don't plan to take too long because this is kind of an unusual setup, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what will really... I have no expectations, let me put it that way. I have no expectations, but, I have this intention to just receive any messages that would be helpful for the collective about this particular time. The moon is transiting the last degrees of Taurus. It's now conjunct transiting Uranus. So Uranus is also transiting in the late degrees of Taurus. So the moon and Uranus conjoined, that's a very that can be a very intense energy. Emotions can change quite suddenly, but it can also mean that we have strikes of, we can have sudden epiphanies, especially emotional clarity, being able to tap into what we dream of, what we desire, what we want for our future, being able to see our future. Moon conjunct Uranus, right? That could be a very psychic placement. So for this transit, I'm setting this intention that whatever the message is today, I hope it helps you, and I hope it helps anyone who sees this. I hope it helps you tap into your magic, your unique type of magic, your unique magic that has been with you all along, that has been with you since childhood. A hidden gift, right? A hidden gift. So let's see what the cards tell us. The moon is still in Taurus, so I do think themes of just comfort and rest, again, lots of rest, being restful, being restored, maybe taking baths or having using a sauna, whatever it is that helps you relieve your sore muscles and recover from, whatever strain or stresses that have been ailing you. So I have one card here. Let's see what it is. Miracles. Lovely. Yeah, that is Uranian energy right there. We've got 2 rainbows and this beautiful cliff, right? The cliff, the face of the cliff. So it's really, that sense that something can come out of nowhere. A miracle, right? How do we define miracles? Well, they're completely unexpected. We would never expect them. So be open to miracles. Be receptive to miracles. What is the message for the collective? What is the message for the collective? Look at that. We have the Fool. Yeah, beautiful. I was just talking about the cliff, and this is literally someone about to leap off the cliff, right? Leap of faith. Sure, the Fool can be naive. It can be an energy of naivety, but sometimes, oh wow, look at that, the 10 of Cups. Yeah, it's interesting because the arms are open here, this hand holding the rose, the white rose, for innocence and purity, and here the arms are open again. But it's 2 people with the open arms, so it's a similar pose. Each person has a similar pose as the Fool, but now they're together, and the rainbow is there again, right? The rainbow that showed up here. 2 rainbows, and now 2 people under one rainbow. So there is a message here about relationship, partnership, unity. I think not so much the romantic coupling, but more like unity. How do we feel that unity with another? How do we feel embedded and that we trust one another? It seems like we are being offered this gift of feeling that deeply right now. Feeling togetherness. You have the Queen of Wands here. So the Queen of Wands. Again, the premonition, visioning and being very sure, being very confident about what you want in the future. Having that plan, having that game plan, but also being so confident in your ability to maneuver, to be resilient, to adapt. The Queen of Wands doesn't feel the need to plan to the very last detail, because the Queen of Wands knows that, first of all, the Queen of Wands likes surprises. The Queen of Wands doesn't want everything planned, right? You need to leave some room for surprise. But the Queen of Wands is someone who tends to bring miracles into her life, because she's so open and receptive to change, to the way things change. She can adapt quite quickly. She is always seeking what is it that lights her fire. So fire needs, novelty. Fire will get smothered in routine, in an endless routine. So the Queen of Wands embraces change, and she's quite adaptive to change. We have the Nine of Swords here. Okay, so some of you, or maybe all of us, but some of us are, you know, I was talking about change. I think some of us are quite fearful about change, about changes already underway, changes that are unavoidable. We have the Three of Cups here. I think some of us are fearing the change to our community or social circle, fearing what will happen, what this change will do to our connections, to the people we feel most connected to. So I'm going to read these two together. We have the King of Swords and we have the Four of Wands. The way I'm seeing this, the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands together are supporting each other. This is about, you know, looking on the bright side, being optimistic like the Queen of Wands. And then the King of Swords is also about tempering yourself emotionally, tempering those quick, you know, the moods. You know, the Queen of Wands can be moody, and the Nine of Swords, the stress of the Nine of Swords, it's often about self-induced worry. So the King of Swords is a helpful energy to keep us paying close attention to facts and trying not to get swept up into anything that has the jury is still out on it. You know, when the jury is still out, we don't want to jump to any conclusions. So I feel like the King of Swords is helping us do that. Now with the Four of Wands, but the Four of Wands here, you know, there's so many cards. There's multiple cards showing reunions, showing gathering together, supporting each other, communion and unity. Okay, communion and I meant community and union, but it all points to the same thing. Okay, this is about people coming together for a big occasion, and also knowing who is in your corner. You know, when you think about if you've been married and you think about who did you invite to your wedding, if you've never been married, but you know, that's one way to think about that. You're going to get married. Who do you invite to the wedding, right? Who do you consider part of your community? Now, going back to the Miracles card, I feel like there is something quite miraculous that can happen here in your community, and you are at the center of it. You are doing something, or you're planning something that can bring so much joy and positivity to a group, to a collective. So, you know, whatever that is for you, this is a strong message of affirmation. And it seems like what it is has to do with the Fool. It has to do with being someone who can bravely face change and who can take a risk. It's a calculated risk, I would say. You know, the King of Swords is not here to do something foolish. The King of Swords, though, can identify the right time and place to be less guarded, you know? So that's something to think about. Perhaps you are that King of Swords who does that very well. And so you should know it's a very valuable skill. It's a very valuable gift. We have the Nine of Cups here. Yeah. I feel like Miracles and the Nine of Cups is going together here, because Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups is also a great response to the Nine of Swords. It's saying whatever you are worrying about, you're going to get your wish fulfilled. You're going to be able to sleep at night because you're going to get exactly what you're hoping for. We have the Moon here. The Moon, yeah, not everything can be known at this time. But I do feel like the Moon, you know, when I was talking about the Moon conjunct Uranus, there is definitely something perhaps special about this new moon. Maybe you know, maybe this is an especially potent new moon for us to set an intention and ask for a miracle. You know, think about what we would do if we received that miracle. How would we respond to a miracle? Set that intention. If you got everything you wished for, if you got everything you hoped for, what would that change for you? How would you behave? How would you act? What would you then do? You know, so set your intention imagining that you have everything you've ever wanted for. We have the Page of Pentacles here. The Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, you know, it is pointing to the Fool card. It's also pointing to, I believe it's pointing to people who are following in your footsteps. Wow, we have the Page of Wands, you know, exactly. This is also about knowing that what you do inspires those who are less experienced than you, who could be younger than you, or they could be just simply people who look to you to learn something. You are doing something incredible. Wow, the Emperor. That is setting an example. You're a role model, and that's exactly what the Emperor is showing as well. So, yeah. That's very cool. I would like another card from this deck. I would like another message. What is this? What is it we should know at this time? I feel like there's two cards that came out. Oh, maybe a lot of more cards are there, but I'll just take these two. Yes, so we have Voyage, and you know, there's the moon imagery again. There's a full moon right above this whale, and then there's a small whale. It's like a parent-child whale you know, duo, right? So I was just talking about those who look up to you. Wow. Voyage. Maybe you're on a trip and people are paying attention to your travels, and they're really, you know, learning a lot from you. They're learning a lot from being inspired of you. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you've moved to a very different place, and the people who know you are learning, you know, wow, what does it take to do that? What do you have to, you know, what would I need to do to be like them? To be able to take a risk like that and make a big change and change up my life, because it's showing that you are being brave, okay? You're being brave to take this, whatever this voyage is, you're being brave. Love, yeah. So it seems like the voyage has to do with how you care for others. It has to do with, you know, what you find to be most important in life. And so it's like an act of love what you're doing to go on this voyage, or to make this change. You're doing it out of love. Wow. Okay, so I think that is the message, but I'll go ahead and pull a couple more cards. Can we get a couple more cards of advice, and I'll try to give as specific advice as possible for anyone who's resonated with this message. What is the most specific advice we could give them at this time? The Ten of Cups again. Yeah. See, that's very clear, and that's exactly what I was saying with the Love card, right? So the advice is, you know, again, thinking about your connections, thinking about those who you feel connected to, those who are in your community. It's also a message here that we're not alone, but also who might you think thinks they're alone. Maybe you are the miracle in someone's life right now. Maybe you can be a miracle of love to someone right now. Maybe there is someone in your community who feels alone, and you know, can you reach out to them? To the Ten of Cups is about fulfillment, and it also resets the cycle. It restarts the cycle. So it's the it's the point of maximum, and it is the point in which we can be, we feel ready to release. We feel ready to give back because we've received all we could. So now we can think about, what can we do moving forward to give back? How can this excess of love be used for the next cycle? So again, thinking about maybe someone in your community, maybe someone in your social circle who has been, perhaps withdrawn, isolated, less engaged than usual. Maybe you can reach out with the excess of love you have. Now again, when I say excess, I mean like, your cup overflow. If you're feeling like you've reached a point of stability, emotional stability or spiritual stability, and that Emperor, right? You feel like very solid, very stable on that front. Like you have something to give. Like you are able to give. If that's who you are, then this is simply a reminder that, with great power comes great responsibility. If you feel empowered by where you are in your community life, your relationship life, you feel cared for, you feel loved, this means, you can be someone else's miracle. You can give back somehow. I'm thinking of charity. The word charity came to me. So, maybe there is a charity organization that you've had, that you've heard about before, you've known about it, but you just never quite had the opportunity to give back to it, whether that's volunteering time or donating funds. Maybe this is just a reminder to think about that, and to, don't just think but do, right? Like do it, commit to it, commit to that act of love, okay? Act of service. And that is the message. Thank you so much for being here. I'll get back to my regular programming after my trip, in a couple of weeks, unless I can squeeze something in, but probably not. So, yeah, this is all beautiful. If you connect with this reading, I would love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to chime in the comments, and definitely do please hit the like and subscribe buttons, because that does help me and it helps grow my channel, and I'd love to continue being here giving these readings. So take care, y'all. Take care now. See you next time.